Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly referee today, because today we are carrying on with our ongoing campaign playing Mongoose Publishing's outstanding Traveler Science Fiction RPG 2nd Edition. And we are playing through one of their modules, a modified version of the Borderland Run. I mention that because if you are intending on playing the Borderland Run, today's session is likely to have spoilers from that adventure. So if you are intending on playing that, be sure to wait till you play that and then come back at another time. If you have played through Borderland Run or you don't care about the outcome of that adventure, well then welcome. Let me introduce you to our cast, or rather our crew of travelers. I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here, which tells who you are and who you're playing today. First up, we've got Graham.
Oh, hi there. I am Graham. I am playing Dane Loverick, who is a reformed Black Ops killer.
Very nice. Yes. I mean, not so much for his victims, but still.
No. Very nice. For them.
Yeah. I was reading about the Imperial drop Marines again this morning. So next up is Jeffrey.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeff, and I'm playing Alonzo Santoro, who is a steward, a journalist, a famous author in his own mind, and a would-be adventurer.
Nice. And last but certainly not least, coming to us from a quasi-regular time at St. James. This is unusual for you to be not joining us in the middle of the night.
It's very odd.
James.
I don't get it. A bit confused now.
Yeah.
So I'm playing a man with a very, very long Villani name, but we'll call him Captain Gani, who's the titular captain of the Rift Wanderer and part owner.
Very nice. So guys, last time was a pretty eventful one. We had a couple firsts, including a first space, ship-to-ship combat. What happened last time, guys? I can bring you over to our crew roster here so that it's easier.
Well, we came into
we got lucky as a summary.
Yeah, we dropped into normal space and then tried to sent out a distress call to the planet saying that we were going to get intercepted by pirates, and then tried to leg it as fast as we could towards the planet. And then we had these pirates start zooming in on us, but just as they were about to get a bit too close and personal, as Dane said, we got a bit lucky by a police cruiser turning up, a Gazelle class escort, appeared in the nick of time and drove off the pirates.
Yeah.
So with that, we headed into the starport.
Yeah.
Our pilot whizzed us, took us in for the landing on the planet itself.
That's right.
We have zoomed in through the cliffs and tricky landing possibilities to actually get into the hangars on the planet.
Yeah.
Without dinging anything. And
you guys have arrived on Argona. Now, there is an individual that Captain Gani has been contacted by named Joachim Strusen, who is, he's got his fingers in a bunch of different, as it were, pies for the, what do you call it, for the Borderland region. And he's also part of the Borderland Alliance, a very loose association of different commercial and governmental interests in the region who are trying to put together a kind of a bit of a brave face on the edge of nothingness. But yeah, I mean, I believe we left you guys arriving, figuring out how much time it would take to recover. Also, I should say a big thank you to, I think it was, hold on, let me double check in the comments. I think it was THX. Let me just make sure. One viewer was very helpful in helping to sort out what the costs of things were for repairing. Let's see here.
Unfortunately, he said it was all free.
Unfortunately, not that. Let's see here. Where is it?
I think we had it about right in the end.
We did. And it turns out we landed on the right number, about 10,000, which is different from the way it was. It was Rick Sherman. Rick Sherman. So Rick, thank you so much for the advice. You know, and it's worth pointing out too, Rick's comments were. There's a lot of times where if people vote, if people just randomly put stuff that's trying to correct rules stuff, and there's like, I have no way of knowing where it is in the session. It doesn't really give any kind of context for stuff. I'm going to delete those because it doesn't add anything to the conversation. Things that are like, hey, I think you may have done, you were talking about this, here's where you find the answer to that. That is precisely the kind of comment that is a rules lawyering type thing that is extremely helpful, not only for us, but also for the for viewers who are watching as well, who may run into the same issue. We didn't know that there was an issue. The errata for the 2022 update actually drops the cost of, either drops or raises the cost of repairs by a factor of 10. So it, I think the way we landed on it is the way it was in the first printing of the Traveler Core Book, 2nd edition, and that's what we're going to stick with, is the well, I can't remember what we landed on, but it was I think it was 10,000
we ended up at
credits.
10,000 per point, yeah.
10,000 per
but
point.
I'm sure the errata to the errata will sort it out.
Exactly. But a big thank you to Rick for that. That was extremely helpful to figure out what was, what the answer was for that, because we couldn't find it. Anyway, so those, and I hope that gives some, it's not that we don't appreciate people trying to help out when we're trying to figure out the rules, but like a comment that says, how come so-and-so didn't get an attack of opportunity on a, 2-year-old video? Like, that man's fucking nothing. I'm not going to go back and check and see what that was and then try and give an answer. The answer is because we're playing a game as we go. We're going to get things wrong. So.
And also, yeah, Kev, I should have had that attack of opportunity.
Yeah. Jeff's, when he gets your sock puppet account. Madison, how come we didn't?
Totally. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That is awesome. Okay, so what we were talking about before we went live is we have 2 members of the crew present today who were who are members of the TAS, so you will be staying for free in the TAS hostel that is here. Any Class B starport is likely to have a TAS hostel, and you guys will be able to stay there. For those who are not members, though, let's see here.
Man, that's an awesome perk.
That's a great perk, yeah, most definitely. I mean, it's 1,000,000 credits to get it, so,
like to buy it normally?
To buy a lifetime membership is 1,000,000 credits if you were to purchase it on your own, but it's often awarded as kind of a, a cash out. And to give you a context, too, if you get it twice when you're doing character generation, you get 2 ship shares as a equivalent for it.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So highly valued.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see here. I'm trying to see if there was a section in the
I'm using ChatGPT.
Let's see. Excuse me. Melee, here we go. Not weapons. Excuse me, my goodness. I was trying to find the section for services. I was looking at that. Oh, here we go. Standards of living. Under equipment.
It works.
What's that?
Using Bing and ChatGPT.
Oh, for which?
For getting the answer to the question.
Oh. Well, they're not necessarily fact-based, though, right?
According to the TAS website, TAS members can get accommodation for friends in their hostels at nearly all Class A, B starports in charted space. Such facilities are available at reasonable cost to members and their guests. However, the availability of rooms may vary upon demand.
Oh, yes. So fortunately, so here we go. Standard living, accommodation in a cheap hostel costs 10 credits. A good hotel is 50 to 100. And Travelers 8, so page 98. Travelers 8 Society hostels are available to members and their guests for 20 credits per night.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cheap.
That's really good.
And you know what? You're also going to get temporary. Remember that we rolled the kind of the conditions in the starport as well, and in the downport, prices are down 10%, so that'll actually be 18 credits for your duration. And if you guys have anything you wish to purchase, you'll get 10% off those as well. So, with you guys, we had a little thing to show you the arrival.
Oh yeah.
And this, let me. Dr. Ilias and Anchor. Anchor is at a gaming marathon, and I think that, or a gaming convention. And Dr. Ilias, I believe, is away for work. Medicine brings you to all sorts of different places. There we go. Now, I mean, you will have put in the kind of local, network. You would have entered in that you have arrived. Of course, the in this illustration, which I think is from Star Citizen, it'll be imagine PRQ in any of the spaces where it says this AC thing. So, what do you guys plan on doing? It'll be 6 hours. We can perhaps imagine that Anchor is working on the ship, because I think he might have the highest. Was it mechanics that was used to repair?
Repair.
Yeah, so you need 6 hours of working on the ship to get it up and running again. What do you guys intend on doing with your time? There, unfortunately, is not much to do in here. Once you, the region over here, this is the recreation areas. This is where the TAS hostel would be. Any other kind of, something geared towards tourists. Each of these little, like, kind of corridor things is a kind of like underground / under ice monorail, because there isn't really any ground vehicles that are made use of in the actual community that makes up the downport of Argona. It's these like kind of monorail style things that zip you around to the different destinations. There are lots of them, and there's also corridors with kind of like, airport style moving sidewalks that'll bring you along. Yeah, I think if you guys check into the TS hostel, it'll be, nothing special, but you'll each have your own room. You'll each have your kind of like safe that's in there. What do you guys want to do to kill your time? There is a bar here as well, a pub, space pub.
Well, I think that they've been held up inside a relatively small starship for a long time. So even just frankly walking out and feeling some space will be, CD Space Ranger Bar, that sounds fine to me.
Okay.
We've let our patron know, have we? We've sort of let our patron know that we have arrived for negotiations, updates, and so on, I guess. So they kind of know we're here, right? Is that, yeah?
Yep. You would have said, Captain Ganny would have sent the transmission to Strusen or Strusen's people to let them know, and they'll set up a meeting.
Nice.
Anything else you guys wish to do?
I have to say, I think Gatney is going to be with Anchor doing the repairs, because he is a die-hard mechanic, and it's his precious ship. So
sure,
I think I'll leave it to Alonso and Dane to manage the next 6 hours.
Okay, so let me bring us over to
Yes, the bar.
our bar. So,
could I perhaps find out some stuff? So I'd like to find out a bit more about the Borderland Alliance. I mean, this is going to be our employer for the next
absolutely
period. I'd like to just sort of make some, quiet inquiries, just sort of try and find a bit more about what the Borderland Alliance is, how it's allied. It's allied to whom?
Yeah.
Apparently promoting prosperity in the Void Edge cluster, but what does that really mean? Try and dig a little bit into that.
Sure. Do you think that Alonso and Dane, are you guys sitting together, or are you guys separating and kind of, mingling with your own types? The bar in this illustration is empty because it's hard to what do you call it, to render people in a crowd. So picture this bar, but full of people. Like there would be, yeah. I mean, not full, like you're having to like elbow your way to the bar, but like busy enough that there's certainly people you could, chat with. I'm just trying to find the...
I think if it had been like the whole crew, I would have gone on my own. But I think since it's just Dane, he'll at least be close enough to be paying it, not necessarily following him around, but, staying in the vicinity of what he's doing.
Kind of keep in touch, as it were.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and resist just treating everyone as targets, because I don't know, it's just people, people can't be...
And knowing Dane a little bit, he's honestly hoping a little bit that he gets into some trouble or something exciting.
It's been almost 6 hours since we've had a pirate attack. Life is boring.
I mean, Dane's going to try not to, but Dane's trying not to isn't that great.
Yeah. All right. So let me just, there we go. Got everyone adjusted here. Okay. So then, over the course of the... for the repairs, let's assume that Anchor is going to be helping Captain Gani. Why don't you give us a routine, like a 6 or higher mechanics check, and you'll be able to have a boost with this.
With a boost. So, yep, mechanic.
So that'll be his helping you with it.
Cancel. Sorry, now I need to just do my boon. This should be. Mechanic, go for it.
Nice, 16. Holy smokes!
I've got +4.
So I think, with that good of a roll, you know what, I think you made exceptional use out of the materials from it, because you exceeded it by 10. Let's say that you actually only ended up using 75% of the materials, so you could refund yourself 2,500 credits. Or however much that works. However much you needed to repair. How much did you need to repair?
Yeah, because it's 10 times the number of points of damage. So
let's see here.
We had more than. Where do we have it?
Oh, it's probably on a token. Hold on, let me grab the.
It was quite a bit, I thought.
Yeah, we took a hit.
It was almost enough to. 6. Here we go. It took 6 points of damage.
So that was 60,000 times 0.75. So that's 45,000 of cost.
Okay. So you save yourself a fair chunk.
Okay. Right. I'll get that into the accounts. That's a saving of 15k on what I was expecting.
Good. Okay. So then what we'll do then is if you're asking around, Dane, I think, let's see here. And Alonzo, what are you doing to try and ingratiate yourself here? Or are you just sitting and drinking on your own?
Well, he's definitely drinking.
Or is he the type to be the insufferable one working on a screenplay, sitting at the space bar?
I mean, I don't imagine he's actually writing, but I more picture that he's like trying to like find some good cigars or like that kind of stuff.
That reminds me, sorry, just before we go on, at the time of recording, some of our friends are on strike who are part of the WGA. So just George and anybody else who has joined us on the channel at any point, our support for you, and we hope a quick end to the strike for you, George, and you. We hope that you're getting used to the walking a little more too, because it was 4 hours of walking when a writer's used to being stationary all day has proving challenging. So good. The best thoughts for you, George, for getting through this quick. Sorry, go ahead, Jeff.
Oh yeah, I was just saying that I think he would be trying to acquire some cigars. I think finding some nice cigars is not an easy thing in space and all these weird planets, and so yeah, like not for trade, like not to get around, but just to have for himself. So
yeah, okay.
He's maybe sees someone smoking or asks around or
sure. So I think, and Dane, what sort of approach are you thinking of taking here as you're going around? Are you like killing them with kindness? Are you trying to, you know, find folks to like merchants or things like that to talk to?
Yeah, I think Dane's going to just play the sort of wide-eyed traveler. You know, I'm new in town.
Yeah,
not been in this part of the world before. I've got a possible job. I'm going to be quite open. I've got a possible job.
Yeah, okay,
with,
okay.
You know, with the Borderland Alliance, and I don't know much about them. Have you heard of them? You know, what do you know? How they're good as an employer? You know, do they do good things or useful things? Just trying to, you know, just wide-eyed.
Okay.
Try not to get into it.
Yeah, sure. I think with that kind of, I think my food's here. So with that kind of, let's see here, that kind of approach, why don't you give us a, with a boost, a carouse check.
Okie doke. Let's
All right, here we
use
go.
your sock with that, your society.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to go for carouse. Which I
With a
don't
boon.
have.
Or boost. Boon is in this game.
So it's sock, modifier of -3 because I don't have the
Before
skill.
you make your roll 2, why doesn't everyone give us a d6 roll? Let's find out how much luck you got to play with today.
Oh,
As well,
right. I forgot about our.
No.
Let's start with that. Yeah. Good luck. Bang.
8.
Luck. Okay.
Hey, it's something.
Okay. And then whenever you are ready.
Yeah, let me just go for that again. Sorry.
Okay.
So it's social with a -3.
Mm-hmm.
Do I get a chance to do a boon? That's without a boon. So I mean I get to roll it again with a boost.
You get to roll. No, you get to sub that second dice in for the other. So that would be 4. Is your sock is a -3?
Yeah.
No, I don't have carouse. I've got sort of bark orders
Right.
at 2, and I've got carouse at not even 0.
Okay, so that
I don't carouse. I kind of stare at people unnervingly and say,
yeah.
"Tell me." I'm just being, but tell me.
But it is a 6.
Yeah.
I think that'll with the subbing the 4 in for the 3, that puts it at a 6, which is a routine, and that's really, this is what this kind of bar is for.
Okay, I don't terrify them.
Yeah. So what you do is you run into actually someone named Matthew Rhine, and I'll give you a handout here, and I'll have the spelling of his name on it. On here, let's go up here. Go.
Just pop this out of the way. That's it.
He is also a. You know, I should do on these things is actually write down what you know them as well.
Buy me a drink.
Merchant Captain. Here we go. So this is
Rhine, as in the river. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Ryan seems he is, you know, kind of passing through here as well, and what you kind of, he definitely has a shadiness to him, and he is in spite of your sort of rough demeanor, he seems quite eager to have a drink with you, which
Okay.
you know, you can judge as either someone who is willing to talk to anybody, or, you know, that he, yeah, maybe quite eager to get someone who with your, what are you presenting yourself as you're asking around? Like, are you kind of like suggesting you're a gun for hire kind of situation, or are you?
Yeah, I'm going to say that I'm sort of, you know, I'm just one of those sort of poor old ex-military types who just bumming around the galaxy at the moment, looking for opportunities.
Yeah. One of the first questions he'd probably ask is like, are you part of a part of a crew? Are you looking to change?
Yeah. Right now, I'm actually looking. I'm actually just about to head into a job, but I just don't know much about it, so I'm just trying to find out a bit more.
Okay.
Stay tight. You know, if you're doing the Borderlands run and so on, you know, we're likely to meet each other again. Just. Stay
What he
loose.
says is that you're. Did you hear? And let me make sure I've got a handout for you guys with the. Yeah, here we go. I got the map with the Laiawaha and Borderland sector.
Oh, yeah.
So one of the things he asks about, or kind of, you know, brings up is that I take it you've heard about the run on Aranseer. There was a Aslan attack on there, apparently with enough ships to fill the skies.
Tell me more. No, I mean, I'm so a little bit wet behind the ears here, so that sounds pretty intense.
As it most certainly was. Aranseer, oh, you know what, I gotta grab another book. Give me 2 seconds, I forgot something. Eep.
2621. B-class starport, Tech 6.
You can help. Thank you. Thank you.
Where are we? We're Argona.
Oh. Without fail,
So
the...
3 parts.
Sorry?
Sorry, I was just saying, so 3 parsecs away, not far away.
No, really not far away. Without, what I was going to say is, without fail, I always want to clean stuff up, because of the Trojan Reach book is part of the Pirates of Drinax slipcase. It always goes back in there, and I always forget to grab it before the sessions. Okay, here we go. Borderland is... There we go, 185. All right, so here's what you know about Aranseer. It was seized by an ambitious Ahate. And Ahate is a... what do you call it? A young Aslan, like a second son kind of situation, who has seized the gone out and try and seize the, you know, their own territory. The Aslan, the kind of lion folk in the Traveler world or Traveler universe, they are kind of like Klingons in sense that they're very honor driven and whatnot, but they're also quite expansionist. They come from or descended from a predator species, and unlike the Vargur, where they're clearly related to the genetic tampering, the Aslan are a completely alien species. They may look like giant lion men, but they are completely different, to the point where they can't even digest meat from Earth or from Earth descended things. But the Hate are a source. You would know this, Dean, just because this is sort of one of the running issues in the Trojan Reach in general, because it is the breach between the Aslan Hierate and the Third Imperium. Any ambitious, you know, wannabe Aslan conqueror often will go out and try and prove themselves here. So this was seized by ambitious Ihate and his followers about, I think it's about 400 years ago. Let's see here.
Oh, okay.
Like it's been in the Aslan's hands. The Aslan have made their presence quite strongly felt in the Trojan Reach, complete with they're the ones who blasted the Drinaxi Empire, the last of the Sindalan Empire, to glass 300 years ago. Forgive me. The Aslan stormed the capital city, easily defeating the planet's poorly armed forces and executing the government from the prefect of Amalgo, the planet's original name, on down to the police captains. However, as the Aslan began pacifying the outer towns, a lucky shot from a revolutionary killed the Ihate leader of that invasion. Without a unifying leader, the invading Aslan began to squabble amongst themselves. The invading force broke up into 24 factions, each of which was forced to ally themselves with the defeated humans in order to maintain their strength. The Aslan warriors recruited humans as both foot soldiers and aides, and after a generation, the aides were effectively running the Aslan domains, with the Aslan relegated to the roles of figureheads and technicians. Today, the ruling caste of Aranseer are the human adjuncts to the Aslan. There are less than a dozen Aslan families left on Aranseer, and they are kept for the most part as pampered pets and symbolic rulers. The Aslan have retained some of their technological sophistication, and Aranseer is capable of producing a very limited amount of TL-12 equipment. In addition to the Aslan figureheads and the oligarch servants, the other major political faction on Aranseer is the People's League, a revolutionary group dedicated to opposing the invaders off-world. The League are opposed more strenuously by the oligarchs than by the Aslan. So it's to this world that apparently some other Aslan came and tried to conquer the planet, drive out the figurehead Ihate, or the figurehead rulers, and then seize it. That apparently was unsuccessful due to the intervention of a mercenary group. And the mercenary group, I believe it's called something like Police Actions. He can't remember right now the specific name of it. Oh, Planet Side Security Services. PSS. And ever since then, it just seems, you know, I don't know if you know, but there's an Imperial ship that's in system. And they generally don't come around to these parts without good reason for it. So, someone like you, I don't mean to bid against myself here, but you may find your services in fairly high demand. And if you asked about the Borderland Alliance, he'll kind of dismiss it as if it's not a thing. Like, it is... it's a loose organization dedicated to promoting stability and prosperity, but the internal politics of the organization are so rife with backbiting and with self-interested promotion that, you know, it might as well be a non-entity.
Okay. Well,
I certainly wouldn't want to rely on it to protect my ship.
Got you. Useful to know. And what is your ship? What have you got?
Oh, my ship is... Hold up. You know what? I won't do it, but I do have another ship, another book that has a ton of Traveler First Edition from Mongoose. I think a lot of it was reprinting stuff, but let's see here. Let's get a name for his ship.
Are you all independent? Are you working with anyone?
No, fully independent.
Right, okay. Yeah, all right.
Let's see. Mine is the bayonet.
Okay. So would you suggest that the Aranseer system is currently a little bit hot?
The Aranseer system, I think that there are opportunities to be had there. What kind of work is it are you looking to sign on long term? Are you looking to sign on for profit from an expedition? He leans in.
We're in the same game. We're in the same game as you, really. We're just a simple, independent trader looking to make a little bit of profit on the Borderlands.
So you're looking to be separate then? What ship are you with right now?
Oh, I mean, so I'm with the Rift Wanderer.
Rift Wanderer.
You may not know it. We're quite new.
Let me make a check here. Shakes his head at. Who's your captain?
Captain Gunny. Do you know Captain Gunny? No, we're quite new. We're quite new. So, you know, we're just finding our feet, really. But if there is opportunity, I mean, obviously, I think we're going to see how the Borderland Alliance pays. I mean, we're here at their behest. We want to find a bit more. If they don't pay much, then, well, you know, maybe there are other opportunities, just like you say.
Then, if you're not looking to hire on, I guess...
Anyway, enjoy your drink, and you take care out there.
You too. If you decide to change ships too, I'll be here for another week. We could make some real money. There is some opportunity to be had here, for certain.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, okay.
Captain Ghani, I'm going to get to you in a moment here, Alonso. but with Captain Gani, you can picture that you and Anchor are, you know, hard at work in the midst of getting everything. Oh, no, you're probably wrapped up with your... I'm trying to think here how long it would take them. No, they'd be able to get here a lot faster than you guys are. Because what you hear, someone is walking along the deck, and Captain Gani, you sort of recognize the sound. After years of service in different branches, you can recognize the sound of Imperial Navy-issued boots on the plasteel that makes up the platform here. You look around, and there is, I think, likewise, you can quickly see it is a lieutenant who is coming in. And here we go. This gentleman looks like this. And there are two other individual officers who are with him as well. He seems to be leading. The other officers are ensigns. So they're not... he seems to be the highest ranking one, but this fellow walks up and he looks... wrong button. Looks over and says, are you the captain of this?
That's me.
He
Nice to meet you,
salutes you,
Lieutenant.
salutes you in the Imperial Navy manner and says, Lieutenant Charlie Banderson, sir. I'm the sensor operator on the Fist of Fury.
Wow. It was a pleasure running into you guys earlier.
And you as well. That was... I wanted to come by and shake the hand of the sensor operator. Those are some impressive electronic warfare tactics. They didn't have any idea what hit them as soon as we came in. And I think we have you to help for that, sir.
Yep, the guy did a great job. So this is he did a fine one. So you know, your firepower certainly got us out of a tricky one. So it's good to see the Imperial Navy on the job.
Am I correct in thinking, sir, that you served in the Navy as well?
Indeed, a sub-lieutenant on a cruiser over in the Sector 268.
Then, sir, if it is not imposing, I see you have work to do here, but it would be an honor to buy you a drink after you've completed.
Absolutely, would love it. So
Then,
I reckon an hour, and then we'll both of us, Anchor and I, will be over.
we'll see you over there, sir. They salute and then start making their way back down the deck. And as friendly as they are with you, you can tell that the way they walk along the deck is as if they own the fucking place. They don't give any kind of recognition to anyone else who's a deck crew or whatever else working in here. With that, you complete your tasks. Anything you wish to do before you meet them in the bar?
No, I'm all good for it. I'm, as you know, I'm very pro Imperial Navy, so
Okay. So,
Navy to the core.
I think Dane, when you were maybe talking to Captain Ryan, when you saw these officers come in, they grab drinks and go and sit at one of the bars and kind of are bullshitting in the way that kind of friends who all serve together have. And it's about an hour afterwards where Captain Gani comes in as well. Anchor is maybe finishing up whatever needs being done there. And then as you come in, Captain Gani, Lieutenant Banderson kind of waves you over to his seat.
All right. So I'll gesture to the staff, say, what will you gentlemen be drinking?
Sir, it would be an honor if you'd allowed us to buy your first round for you.
Thank you very much, Lieutenant.
Okay,
much appreciated.
So he gestures at the bartender, and whatever your preference is going to be brought over to you. So he sits down and he it kind of steers the conversation pretty quickly to, you know, pretty lucky that that we were here, hey?
For sure. I thought it was going to be very tricky making it all the way to Argona. That was he was right on top of us.
Well, it's I tell you, sir, it's you're luckier than you think, because we're about to be deployed elsewhere.
Oh, right. How come?
It kind of looks at the other two and says, I can't say for certain, sir, but I understand that there's been some concern over Aslan activity near the Spinward, or near the what's the left side called again? I don't remember.
Spinward.
Spinward? The spin, yeah, because it's coreward, rimward, and then driftward and trailing. Is that right? Or
Spinward and trailing.
Spinward and trailing. Okay. In the spinward end, right, of the Dranaxi chain, there's apparently some concern. So again, looking at that map of the Iowaha region, that's sort of on the left side there, and that's closer. That's much closer to the Aslan Hyrate too. If the Hyrate is beginning to get agitated, there has yet to be. I don't want to speak out of turn. I don't think there's been a war between the Hyrate and the Third Imperium yet, because there's just so much space between, and they don't really share a common border. But that would be a very, like, that's a serious thing when one intergalactic empire goes, or system empire, interstellar empire goes at war with another one. So that's what he says, that it's agitation. There's apparently been some concern of that, and there are a bunch of us, apparently, who will be reconvening. The Aussies need a little bit of calming down, it seems.
So, well, the Dranax area has always been a bit tricky, so close to Aslan. But you all take care right out there. Because there's no place to be in a fleet action. Any kind of
like war stories that you have you have as well, they will be eager to listen to. So if they ask, like, one of the ensigns is like, "Did you serve there, sir?"
Yeah, I was in a cruiser at the time. Oh. One of the last of the Xanthi High Lightning. Before they were decommissioned. Kind of like, oh wow, and it kind of carries on that way. If there's anything that you want to, direct the conversation towards, I think, Captain Ganny, why don't you give us a recon check as well? Oh dear.
Please. This is not going to be a difficult check. Oh, someone let a dog
really
in the bar, though.
Where's my recon?
Oh, and you have luck as well. So, yeah, that's not great. Do you wish to spend any luck on that?
Oh, I think so.
Okay. So basically, you're going to spend 4.
More my thing than recon.
Let me see.
So let's use
how much do I need? So actually, it'll be no. It's actually only 3 luck because you did roll. Wait. Yeah.
Okay. So we have 5 left.
Please, come on. Down.
Sorry,
Anna's about to knock over a stack of books here. Yes, hello. What you can spot, what you're rolling for, basically, just to spot that Dane is in here as well. So if you want to give them the sort of like, he seems to be wrapping up with whoever he's talking to. If you want to give him a sign of like, hey, come on over, you're welcome to do so.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, so, I'll just invite over. I've just seen my friends over there. So one's an ex-Marine as well. So. And no doubt had a bit of experience with the bootnecks.
Give us a 2d6 roll there. Dane, what is your society again? The bonus.
The bonus for my society is a big 0.
Big 0. Okay, then give us a 2d6 roll.
6. Yeah.
Let's just see.
A 2d6 roll with what, sorry?
Just a flat 2d6 then.
For social.
For social,
Flat
yeah.
0 on social is pretty fancy where I come from.
Okay, 5. All right, so they're not. What I was asking a roll for is to see whether I can see that you know, what do you call it? Service branch rivalries may go one way or the other. They may be like, oh yeah, he's one of us, or they may be like, fucking Marines. I think they're so fancy. Yeah. You know, that's leaning more to that side too. So they're gonna be a little less impressed with that, but
that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
that's good from my perspective. They might ask less questions.
Definitely. So with them going over, they sort of I guess like, what do you wish to, Captain? Is there any topic you want to direct the conversation towards, or you know, any questions you have of them? Dane, likewise, if there's anything you wish to push things towards. They seem to have been here for at least a month.
That's going to leave quite some piracy opportunities in this around these worlds. Then, if you're all away.
Well, we've given a healthy black eye to those that were preying on here, but with them, you know, the reach is outside of the Imperium, so. Unfortunately, those who don't want to fly the Imperial flag, they're going to be at the mercy of the Imperium as far as the priorities. And I guess if they're sending us all to, you know, they're all sending us off to the spinward edge of the Dranaxi cluster, there must be a reason for it. And one of the ensigns is like, after we gave what we gave those pirates, we're ready for some of those Azzies, eh?
You watch out though. In a fleet action, your ship's not. But still, may your armor hold and their missiles miss, huh?
Indeed. They all sort of, you know, raise a toast and slam it back. Anything else you guys wish to direct their conversation towards? Dane, if you do bring up the comment that they have not mentioned yet to Captain Gani the developments at Aranseer, but you may infer now that they're being redeployed from here, based on what Captain Gani said.
Yeah. I guess I'm not going to say too much about me, but I'm interested in. So you know, you're heading off Spinwood maybe, but. So does that mean that we've got to sort of watch our sixes and 12s when we're out in this part of the neck of the woods? I've heard that Aranseer is quite hot.
They both look like, oh yeah. From what we've heard, it's one of them splinter factions from the Empire, or at least the Hyrate. I'm sorry, not the Empire. The Hyrate. The Azzies say it wasn't them, but. From what we hear, they send a big enough fleet to fill the skies.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
One of the ensigns is kind of, you know, gestures to Captain Gani, but I guess you face odds like that, right?
For sure. It's a risky thing out there in space, as you guys know. So, yeah. Especially on an escort like yours. So keep your eyes peeled, huh? Keep those sensors as sharp as you did with us.
With the flattery, Lieutenant Banderson nods enthusiastically and gives a cheers to you. Well, will do, sir. We will.
I hope to encounter you guys again in the coming weeks and months. But good luck with your assignment.
Are you planning? Does your whatever it is you do, does it take you to the Dranaxi cluster?
We don't know.
Never say never. At the moment, I think we're going to be sticking around this cluster, but you know, at some point, you know, I hear there's some good business over there. Dranax is still pretty high tech, so you never know. Could be some good trade to do there.
That crazy king. We haven't from what we hear, he still lives in a flying city, but that's the only thing functioning on the planet.
They say his people are very blessed.
So we, well, that's one way of calling it. Dancing on the edge of inbreeding is certainly another one. But anything else you guys wish to bring up with these fellows, or are you just going to relax and kind of enjoy the evening with them?
I think probably relax, but I think I will make probably just an effort to see if, from an Imperial Navy point of view, whether they've got a view on the Borderland Alliance.
Yeah, if you bring that up, they sort of look at one another and they're like, "The what?"
Apparently, they're potentially our employer, so it's just whether you'd heard of them and you know what they do.
We've heard of them, but I'm not sure that we know what. I'm not sure they know what it is that they stand for or want to do.
Prosperity.
I know that one of the ensigns, like, I know they call for help pretty quick, and Banderson is kind of like, they should be. If they get their act together, I mean, this could be. Every world was in an Imperial world at some point, so, you know. And the ensign, feeling suitably chastened, is like, okay. But the gist you get from them is that there's not really. There is something that calls itself the Borderland Alliance, but it isn't really a political entity the way that any other kind of like cluster-sized organization is. It's tough too because it's so far out here and it's such disparate worlds. You know, Tech World is such a bizarre collection of, you know, effectively mad scientists loosely held together by a single planet. Yeah, Spurl is a corporate entity. Argona is largely a corporate entity. Ergo is a red zone world, so you're not really supposed to go there. So it's tough, and with corporations fighting against one another's interests, it's rare when they are just going to align on one thing. But that's what the Navy's for. And life on the frontier, hey?
Yeah. Busy.
Anything else you guys wish to direct their attention to or get their 2 cents on?
Nope. Just look forward to meeting you again in the coming months.
We hope
safely.
so, Captain. And what was your rank, Dane? I can't remember.
My rank was... where are we?
I suppose it's also a question of whether you
Major,
introduce
right?
yourself. What is it? Major?
Force Commander.
Force
Commander. Oof.
And did you introduce yourself as such?
No.
No? Would you have dropped your rank at any point, or just carried yourself like a senior? Is Force Commander enlisted or officer?
Oh, officer.
Officer, okay. So they may pick up just the way that you carry yourself in the conversation that you... Yeah. But then they, you know, they'll call you, I guess, Mr. Laverick and Captain Ganny.
Yeah.
But let's see if Alonso has anything happen to him. So to track down this, I think it's a broker role is what you're going to use.
Cool.
Yeah, but let me double check here.
Dane was being so peaceful and boring. Alonso's hoping this is like some kind of black market guy, you know, something interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Broker. I don't think I have broker, so I have to just roll on. Oh, I have
You got Jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah, let me double check that. I want to make sure broker isn't the just for like widespread trade. Let's see here.
Right. This is kind of weird because it's like
Yeah. Let's see here.
personal goods kind of thing, but like
Mm-hmm.
not exactly illegal, but probably hard to find.
Yeah, and that's what I'm more thinking is that it's you know, let's use broker. I think that in the absence of any other obvious thing that probably makes sense. So give us a trade. Now I'm going to give you some modifiers. This is a Class B starport, so you'll get a +1 to it. I'm going to use the, because I was looking at them earlier, I was looking at the modifiers you get from the tech level and the size of the starport for trade stuff.
The more people that are here, yeah, the more possible it is.
Yep. So I'll give you the. So here we go. +1 from the Class B starport. No modifier from the size. +2 from the tech level of 9 or higher. I know it's not. The cigars are not a high-tech item, but getting them here would be a high-tech thing, so I think that plays a factor. So I'll give you a +3 in total. It'll be a DC 8, or target number 8.
So, +3.
Look at that.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so you find a, maybe not a tobacconist. That's a great roll. 6 over. I think you find someone with a specialty in smokables from all over the Imperium.
Oh, wow, nice.
So this will be anything you can potentially think of as something that can be rolled up and smoked and have some kind of effect on a human physiology. You will be able to find it here. And with a roll that good, I think they also sell you the necessary kind of like aids. Like if you do this will be poison, but we have an enzyme adapter. You can take this pill, it'll change your physiology temporarily, and it'll process it differently and give you a different experience.
Yeah, you can imagine he spends a long time talking with this guy, hearing about each one, picking them out very carefully. Like if he's got 6 cigars of this type, like choosing which of the 6 looks perfect, you know, like he's really into it. So he'll enjoy this experience, especially after, you know, ship time. It's like nice to have this outing and this ability to do this.
Yeah, and I think that in a similar way, this the proprietor of the shop likely is a pretty well-traveled individual. So, like yourself, well, no, you're not terribly well-traveled, but you're at least you're aware of other, you know, places and such. This person seems to be similarly pretty informed of, you know, where these different things could come from.
Awesome. Yeah, he's kind of taking note of it all, and maybe even taking notes about some of the stuff he's telling them.
He'll even show you, if you talk about you know, your love of it too, I think he'll show you the kind of hydroponics setup. It's an ice world, but he's got a setup like behind your shop. There's a fairly extensive advanced hydroponics area where he's growing his own strains of different, you know, tobacco or, you know, pot or whatever, you know.
All this neat stuff. Cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, so you've made a pretty good, you know, pretty good impression on someone. And as you're leaving, what you notice is that, you know, you kind of look up and down the not gangplank, what is it called? The, not carousel, it is concourse, and you can see that there is someone who is kind of locked eyes with you and is trying to hold eye contact as long as you can, and they look like this.
And this is like leaving the tobacco shop.
Yep, you left the shop.
The smoking shop. Yeah.
You can give us a recon check as well.
Okay. Recon. I don't have recon. No.
Okay, so jack of all trades again.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh my goodness.
Great roll. Okay. Yeah, actually, 4 + 5. That's awesome. You know, when you were talking to the proprietor, you think you saw her come in the shop. So she must have overheard some of your conversation.
I think I would go over and say hello.
Okay.
Alonso's not very shy, so...
Yeah. So as you're walking over, she looks at you, and holding your eye contact, she kind of shakes her head like, no. And her eyes sort of point over in one direction. And you see her, she turns and walks over. She's dressed in kind of, you know, station wear, dark colors. There's like a, you know, sci-fi poncho on.
Yeah.
It's not hard to follow her. You know, she for a woman, she's quite tall. Or for a human woman, I should say, she's quite tall. So she's probably about just shy of 6 feet. And she makes her way down to sort of near where there is a shop that looks like it's being remodeled or something like that, and there's a little bit of a service hallway leading down between the two. She stops and spares a look back at you to make sure you're following, and then walks down the corridor.
Yeah, I'll follow her into this sort of alcove.
Okay. So you walk your way in there, and she's waiting about 10 feet down the corridor, and she looks at you concerned and says, "You weren't followed."
I look back. I don't believe so.
Then get in quick before they see.
I'll follow her instruction.
Okay. She leans in, and she says, "I think you know who sent me. We need to talk, but not here."
Okay, where then?
She gives you, she takes your hand. Do you have your, like, comm unit on you, or in your hand, or you have it on your person?
Yeah, somewhere on my person.
Okay. She says, "You have your comm unit?"
Yes.
So she holds it up. She enters, or she holds hers up. She enters some information on it, and she says, "Quickly," gesturing for you to take it out.
Yeah, I pull it out right away.
She gestures with her hand, and she sent over some file that arrives on you. There's directions to a place that is closer to kind of the habitation units in there.
Yeah.
And she says, "In 2 hours. Don't be late." And she starts walking past you. At the end of the hallway, she turns around and looks at you and has that same kind of serious look and says, "You can call me Whitney." And then she turns and, looking both ways, heads out and makes her way back into the crowd. You, with your box of, you know, space Cubanos, are standing. How are you feeling?
A little bit lost. He's like, "I have no idea who that woman is or who sent her."
So, what do you do then, Alonso?
I guess head back to the bar to see what's going on with everyone else.
Sure.
I'm hoping they're still there, you know, kind of thing. And
so you walk into the bar, and it's the liveliest table in here seems to be a couple of Imperial naval officers, and you realize that Dane and Captain Gani are sitting with them.
Oh, I don't know if I would go sit with them then, or just give them, like, it's not really my crowd, right? So
okay. Captain Gani and Dane, why don't you give us recon checks? Let's see if you spot Alonso in the crowd, if you're caught up in the conversation with these young officers. Dane definitely does. Captain Gani, less so, unless he wants to spend some luck.
No.
So, Dane, you see Alonso walk in, and he kind of hesitates. He's got a box of something under his arm, and then he kind of, you know, saunters over to the bar and takes a seat at the bar itself. Is that right, Jeff?
Yeah, I'll just wait for them to be done or us to move on. I don't need to go sit with a bunch of military guys.
Okay.
I'll probably just signal to Alonso that I've spotted him. I just, you know.
Yeah. Just the old, like, see
okay.
him. Yeah.
So
I'll probably signal I'll just be sitting at the bar or something, and he's probably like got his like box of cigars on the bar counter, and he's just enjoying re-looking at his purchases.
Yeah.
Sort of taking stock, like.
I expect that unless Alonso is going to share with Dane and Gani his meeting with Whitney, the time for going to meet up with her will be clicking down before they finish up with their drinks.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think he would tell them necessarily. He's not sure that it has anything to do with them at this point. So
Okay.
maybe he would just be planning to go by himself.
Okay. So what do you do? Like, do you bring your box with you? Do you stop off at the TAS hostel, drop your stuff off?
Yeah, I wouldn't carry it around. It's too, I don't want it to get wrecked. These are treasures.
For sure.
So I would, and probably I would leave them, like, I'm assuming there's like some kind of front desk or something like that.
You also have all of comm units. You could send a message.
Yeah, I would just send them a message, something's come up. I've gone to meet with someone, be back, hopefully back in time for our meeting or something like that.
I think that's probably standard, operating procedure for Alonzo. So when you guys get this message, there'd be nothing to trigger any concerns. Alonzo's always got sources.
He's kind of got lucky again, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So Alonzo, you leave the the Planetfall area, and I guess Planetfall is probably the name of the bar here, Bar, Grill, and Rooms. You leave the recreation area and head down towards the dwelling center, and what you find is the passage along here is all people who are wearing kind of grubby PRQ, varieties of different types of uniforms, like coveralls or like smocks or uniforms if they're working with customer service, all of which are branded by PRQ. And however friendly, or if you make eye contact and you smile at someone, they quickly look away. You get the feeling that you definitely stand out here and are definitely not
Okay.
Yeah. So you get down to there, and in contrast to the welcoming area that the recreation area presents, with open places with lots of open spaces with lots of signs of various colors and whatnot, this is a very, very drab. It is the under ice on a mining planet version of kind of Soviet style housing. Everything has different numbers and codes. There's not names given to things. There is definitely a lot of, and curiously, a lot of fairly fresh graffiti, very pro-union graffiti.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you may remember that you heard that there was some union agitation, right? Like, that's the whole reason that one individual was coming here in the first place. So it will take you about 10 minutes to navigate from when you finally arrive here on the monorail and you're in the thing to get to where you're supposed to meet up with these people. And it's tough to judge from, I'm trying to think if there's a skill you might be able to use to, if you come from affluence, being in a less affluent area, sometimes everything looks kind of run down, where you could tell, and it'd be difficult to judge what's just run down and what's dangerous.
Right.
I think, let's just we got an easy answer here. Why don't we just use Jack of all trades?
Sure.
Okay.
See how he's
8's
feeling.
pretty good. So, I mean, the area you're moving into here, it seems as if there's some broken lights. It doesn't seem as if you've passed anyone for the last few minutes. So it definitely has the vibe of a place people don't go to. But if people are having secret meetings in a factory-run town, that's probably the place you would want to go.
Right. Right. So in a lot of ways, this is matching up with what I was expecting.
Precisely. Yeah. What's going through Alonzo's mind right now?
He's wondering if he's got caught up in something he doesn't really want to be caught up in. Like, it's like, maybe these are the union people and they want his help, exposing something that PRQ is up to. And, he's like, oh, I wanted to sort of move on and, have some space adventures, like the pirate attack we just went through, like that's the kind of stuff he's looking for.
Yeah.
And so I think he's kind of like not like, maybe just a little disappointed, almost like, you know, like, oh, I'll get sucked back into the old journalist life kind of thing, right?
Okay. So based on the kind of GPS unit that you've got on your phone, which would link up with the maps, it's not actually, you know, GPS, but you're navigating your way into, this is like a junction where there is a second, like just a second corridor that passes off in one direction and one that carries down and then has a dog leg towards, looks like a, if you can picture like any kind of like you know, residence that was made of mostly concrete.
Yeah.
You know, I'm picturing like a lot of university residences are kind of like this, where everything was generally one poured block with, you know, rebar and shit inside. That's sort of what this looks like, is for you navigating between. Some of the lights are off in some of the areas, and in one of the corner at the far end, you can see that someone has activated a light around the collar of their their what do you call it? Their poncho. It's Whitney. And she says, "You came."
Well, you invited so nicely.
I did. Come, hurry. They're gonna hear.
I'll sort of follow her instruction, but like, just feeling like this like subterfuge and, you know, sneaking is just so unwarranted because he hasn't seen any danger or anyone following him. Or
she walks you down about another block, and then she not another block, like about maybe another 30 feet to the end of the corridor, and then down to the first doorway on the left, and she goes up, hits something, enters a code, and then the door slides open. She's like, "Go in." And she looks up and down the hallway as if trying to be cautious.
Yeah, I'll go in.
Okay. So she steps in after you, and she says, "I'm so glad you came." Alonzo, give us a recon check. I guess it's a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
In your case.
All right, Whitney. What's he got me into?
So you walk in, and as soon as you, so here's where the situation is. You walk in, and as soon as you walk in, you clock that there are 3 other people who are trying to hide, who are in here. You can picture this is imagine like the kind of living room area in a very small apartment that has, you know, someone moved out in a rush and then never bothered to clean up for a good 5 years. Dusty in here, you know, furniture is kind of turned over. And yeah, there are 3 other individuals in here, and then she steps in. With a roll that good, you might be able to do something before she steps in if you want. Or do you want to see what's playing out here?
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't have, it's not like he's, I think he's fine to just like, see what she's got planned out here. I mean, I don't know if he'd like take a reaction as if he's in danger, so.
Sure. So you walk in, she steps in, closes the door behind her, and you hear the sound of a magnetic lock hit.
Yeah.
And that's when you notice I only have one illustration for you for the other individuals, but they all pretty much look like this as well.
He's pretty.
Nice.
I need not hide the name of this because the jagged knives in each of their hands makes clear what their intent is.
Yeah.
And if you turn around, you see that Whitney, if that's her name, pulls out a knife as well and says, "All right then, let's see what you've got." And I think that's where we'll take our mid-session break for Alonzo to consider its trusting nature. You did want danger. So for those listening at home, we'll be back momentarily.
Yeah, so I'm running with your the idea of combining Dark Heresy and Death Watch.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, I snapped up a damaged copy of the Dark Heresy book. So it's busy sitting in the corner, slathered with glue, trying to fix it. But yeah, I think it's a fun way of mixing it, right?
Yeah,
for
sure.
All Death Watch all the time would probably get, it'd wear out its welcome a bit. But as you say, a bit of once you've been getting beaten up as a inquisitorial adept, it'll be nice to come in with the big guns.
Mm-hmm.
With some payback.
Yeah, I think it would be really a neat way to play.
Of course, not always the easiest game to find players for, but never mind.
Right.
One funny on Fantasy Grounds is you can mix and match and switch the rule sets, which is kind of cool as well, because all of the games are slightly different. Very similar, but somewhat different. But you can switch between them.
Right, you could kind of play which rules make the most sense in a given situation.
Yeah. So
that's
you can
cool.
play Death Watch with Dark Heresy rules, or vice versa.
Right.
And bring in, individual rules into it as well. So that was kind of cool way of doing it. Anyway, one day. A bit of a different setting than Traveller.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, somebody was spoiled by her aunt this whole week being outside, so she did not want to come back inside. Oh, goober. All right. So, hey, everybody in chat. THX, what's going on? The Beirut, hello. Hope everyone's having a great last day of the weekend. So, if we are ready to dive back in to Alonso's circumstance, I will point out as well, this is a random encounter. I rolled up for the event for the day, and I'm like, surely no one would go along with a scam. So, there are 3 muggers here.
Yeah.
And there is Whitney as well. So, they each have knives. What would you like to do?
So Alonso just puts his hands up and he says, very well done. Very well done. Good choice of target. I am completely unarmed and very easy to rob. Unfortunately, you've made one small miscalculation. My shipmates, the men I travel with, they are all ex-military and all extremely dangerous. If you are to go through with this mugging and steal my credits, things will not go well for you in the long run. I would highly recommend you rethink this endeavor.
Why don't, let's see here. It's like diplomacy.
I guess there's persuade or carouse.
Yeah.
Diplomacy, even?
Is there actual diplomacy?
Intimidating a thug is actually specifically listed under persuade.
Okay.
And I think because they're outnumbering you, I'm going to make it a 10.
And am I which am I using? What am I using? Intellect,
persuade,
or social?
Strength or social.
Okay. Let me just look at those. What is my strength and what is my social? Oh yeah, social for sure.
I'm going to let her try and talk them back in. So yours is a 10, hers is an 8. Okay. Go ahead whenever you're ready. Oh. So you have... you got 3.
Spend 2 luck.
2 luck would make it a 0 net effect.
Oh, I see. Right.
You really want to make this?
Oh, do I want to make this persuasion check? Is that what you're saying?
You do.
Oh, sure. Well, okay. Sure.
Okay.
Why don't I spend 3? Then at least I have a +1 effect, right?
3 will give you a +1. Yeah. So
yeah. Okay.
And I think the so you say that, and the 3 guys all kind of are, looking at one another like, maybe this isn't a great idea. And she leans in behind you and says, "Yeah, but they're not here, are they?" And the other 3 are kind of like, "Oh yeah." And they seem a little more eager to go through with it. So empty your pockets and let's see what you've got on your comm link.
Sure.
What would you have on you right now?
I mean, I don't know. How do you pay for things in this world?
I imagine you've got it like you would keep a balance. Actually, there is a whole thing about banking in this.
Because I mean, obviously, you wouldn't be walking around with.
And I don't think you'd have access. Like, you guys wouldn't be so foolish as to have, unlimited access to the funds they have in it. But I mean, I imagine you guys have enough for disposable. Let's say that they're going to take you for. Let me see what's a reasonable, extravagant purchase for you guys. I don't think it'd be more than 1,000 credits. Probably. Which
I did just blow some of on my smoking stuff. So like, I don't know, whatever you think I have. I mean, I think I'd probably just willingly hand it over to them. Like, I wouldn't fight them on it. I would just, okay, here you go. This is what I'm carrying.
They'll take your comm unit. They're going to take your what do you call it? They'll take 1,000 credits. So that'll include the purchase of your whatever. But they won't have access to any further. And if you guys want to set different kind of security parameters for what everyone can bring with them when they all get off the ship, then you can certainly do that going forward. Anything else you have on you that is your actual...
I mean, the only other, I have a portable computer, but I would have left that on the ship or in my room. I wouldn't be carrying that around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have a revolver, but I think you said that this planet I wouldn't have been carrying it, so I left it on the ship.
Shotguns or hand weapons is the only thing that would be permitted here.
Yeah, and so I didn't bring my revolver, so that's it. The comm unit and my clothes. I mean, I don't know if I try and steal. I mean, I'm not really wearing nice clothes. I'm wearing sort of average clothes. So.
Yeah. They don't want your clothes. They want your money. So they take that, and then she leans in and takes your cigar out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Turns it around. What's in hers? A pleasure, stranger. And she is the first one to walk out. Then the 3 guys walk around behind you. They walk out, and you can hear a ka-chuck-chuck. They have locked you in here. So, Alonso, what are you doing?
I mean, I guess I'm going to try and get out of here in some way.
Yeah, give us an electronics check. I mean, I think you're pretty good at that skill.
I'm actually pretty good at that.
Electronics computers, I think, is what we're looking for. Okay, Monkey. Okay.
And maybe I won't even delay. Like, as they're you know what I mean? They leave and lock the door, and I'm immediately trying to open it. Like, I'm not not that I'm trying to follow them, but just that I'm like.
Okay. You don't have any luck left, right?
We have 2, but I won't spend it on this yet.
You would need to get a success.
Oh.
Yeah. Reason being is that you're going to have to do a little bit of like patching shit together. This place is pretty worn down.
Okay.
And it will take you some effort to get in touch with them. So if you're spending that luck, then you will be able to at least get a comm through to the others.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I'll do. Yeah.
So you guys are sitting, and would it be Captain Ganny or Dane that you would be contacting first? Let's assume the others are not able to answer their units.
Yeah, I think I would probably contact Dane.
Okay. So you're listening to these young officers getting, progressively drunker throughout the evening. Dane, and you can see that that's weird. There's a call coming in from, it seems like an outside number.
No, I'll take it. It's probably a business call, but it's a bit out of hours. It's a bit out of hours. I'll take it anyway.
So, Alonso, you can hear like what cuts through in the background is the sound of like the music in the bar or the pub playing, and I'll leave it to you guys to role play this out.
Yeah, he would be like, "Yeah, Dane."
Alonso.
Yeah. Sorry.
Surely you're. Well, I mean, you must be because surely you're kind of would have been busy. I mean, well,
I thought it was going to be something good, but
we all assumed it was.
Apparently, I'm a little rusty, and I've been taken by some muggers. They've locked me into some shithole here in the boonies.
Dane's already moving.
Captain Gunny, you can see that Dane took a call, and he's now on the move out of the bar.
Yeah, I'll just signal I'm out, and I'll. So whereabouts are you? Can I triangulate where you are? On your comm signal?
Yeah, he'll sort of like send you.
Do you have?
Well, I know where I came roughly.
Yeah, but it's saved to your. It's like imagine taking a GPS to drive somewhere and then having to. So how did you get here? Oh fuck.
Right, but I'm saying I don't necessarily know how the path, but I know the place she told me. Right? Oh no, I guess not necessarily.
No, she gave you a direction on your phone, right?
Right.
Or your comm unit. I think that it would not be. It's not going to be a difficult task for you to figure it out. It's just a question of how long. Why don't you give us a 1d6 roll, Dane? So how many half hours it takes you to.
1d6.
Yeah. So it's like 2 hours to. Unfortunately, the unit you've got is not necessarily the most stable of things, and again, this is a kind of an abandoned part of the unit, and nobody you're going to talk to once you get to the dwelling sector is going to be helpful in the least to outsiders, unless you've got a really great diplomacy or persuade.
My sort of persuasion isn't going to help.
I mean, you can try that as well, I guess. Strength is the skill you use for that, or one of the skills you can use for intimidating someone into complying.
No, I'm just gonna have to sort of roll with it.
Okay. So there is a fair amount of wandering around. You're gonna get there with no difficulty. Let's just do this though. Why don't you give us well, Alonso's the one to blame for the situation, so Jeffrey, would you give us a 1d6 roll, please? Okay. So the as you're sort of wandering your way down here, Dane, tell us a little bit about how you're trying to locate Alonso. And Alonso, what are you doing in the interim? Are you staying on the line with Dane for all this time, or?
Yeah, he would probably be investigating, the space he's in, the surroundings, anything that he can figure out to try and give him a clue as to where he is.
Okay. And it seems like this is a, it's likely a mine worker who was living in here at some point. You find some. Go ahead.
No, so I was going to say, and I can't sort of while I'm trying to locate Alonso, I can't zero in on Alonso's comm unit.
What would you use to do that, do you think?
It depends how we've set them up, I guess.
Oh, you mean like track down where his unit has been stolen, like the kind of?
Yeah. I'm sort of more interested. I'm less interested in Alonso, bless him, than actually capturing the miscreants.
So that's probably an electronics computers thing.
I will see. It's like the sort of kind of mind you, it tends to be consensual with something like WhatsApp, because you can sort of say where you are.
Yeah.
And you can track. It's kind of that kind of thing. We set them up mutually for that, which we haven't said we have, to be fair.
No. You know what it be is so I think probably specialty of comms rather than computers.
Oh, okay. In which case,
do you have any? I mean, that would be your dedicated task then, rather than trying to track down where Alonso is. If you're splitting your focus between the two, I mean, you could bring in the captain at any point during this as well.
Yeah,
want to have more hands.
I'm sure I would. I don't leave you out, Ghani. This is the most fun we've had since getting here, really. So, if I explain the situation to you, Ghani, I'll just tell you I'm going to try and see. I'll tell you where I am. I'll tell you where I think Alonso is, at least vaguely, and I'm trying to zero in on this. Now I'm going to make a roll here, but
so how does just one moment? How does Captain Ghani take the news of this? You can picture you're talking to these ensigns, and then you're like, yeah.
And 2 minutes after we get onto this rock, and already we're in trouble. So I'll head for the ship.
Okay. So then, so you all three of you are in Lintier. Dane, you were going to make a roll for something?
I was going to make an electronics. Now, my specialty is computers, not comms. So I'll make the roll, but I'm on a -1 to the result that you're going to see in the display. That's it. I guess I could. Let me just try the -1 actually in the input value and see if that does it.
It should roll.
Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible anyway. So I'm not going to find them.
Oh, and it's two nat ones. I would actually, with the 6 for the whether there was going to be an encounter, and the 2 nat ones, I think we know who you run into.
Nice.
So as you are making your way down, you sort of ask for, maybe once or twice someone comes up to you, and
yeah, I'm just trying to track down a friend.
You look like you're lost, she says.
Kind of a little bit lost. Yeah. Lost, but
she kind of looks you up and down. You don't look like a miner.
No. And I'll look her deeply in the eye and say no, military. And I'll just give her everything will freeze on my face, military.
Oh, so from off planet then. I might be able to help. Who are you looking for? What are you looking for?
I'm looking for a colleague who got robbed.
A colleague got robbed,
I'll be watching it carefully. Just watching it carefully.
That sounds very unfortunate.
Yeah.
And I think that's when you realize that there are 3 men behind you as well.
God damn it. I will quickly move to put in a lock and place her in a position between
well, let's do this then. If you're going to jump into combat, let me quickly put some tokens down for them.
God damn it.
Just to track them, and then the 6 and the nat ones. I'm like, well, it'll be mean to have you have. Oh no, the dice have said otherwise. So, okay, so here is.
I'm not armed or anything. I'm gonna get stabbed here.
It's gonna be great. The door opens. Alonso's like, oh, thank God you're. And then they realize that they're locking you up in here too.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. All right, so here we go. Initiative is now you. I think this kind of. Well, why don't you give us a recon check? Let's see if this caught you fully by surprise here or not.
Okay. I do also have tactics 1.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is I'm going to let you only, but that would only if you actually, had some forethought. There you go. Awesome roll. Yeah, so actually give us the tactics roll. and then you get to apply the effect of that as a bonus to your initiative.
Oh, okay.
Oh boy, that's +2 to your initiative.
Okay.
Okay, and then I'm just trying to get back to the combat. It's not a very big section, so it's very... Oh, and actually I have a bookmark in it. There we go. Okay, so you're making either a dexterity or an intelligence check.
Okay, I think probably dexterity for me.
Okay, I got a 9 on mine.
Is this a straight roll, yeah?
Just straight roll, yeah.
Okay, that's
dexterity
an 8 with a +2.
+2 is 10, so you're up first. All right, so you can see they are moving... let me do this here. I'll put her in as the timekeeper, or the order keeper. You got a 10, and they got a 9. All right. So then it does clearly look like they are going to be going into to try and, like, you know, rob you at knife point. What would you like to do?
So as I say, with speed, I want to try and get the initiative on the situation. So I want to get her in a proper combat lock and have her effectively facing them with me.
So this will be a opposed melee unarmed check.
Okay.
Okay, I got a 7.
Okay, let me just see if I can... I'm going to have to go to my skills here and go to melee. Let's see what we get. 11.
Nice!
Yes.
So you beat me by 5. I got a 7. You beat me by 4.
Mm-hmm.
So an effective 4... Let's see here. Yeah, so you have successfully grappled an enemy, and you may also do one of the following. Force the opponent prone, disarm an opponent, throw an opponent 1d6 meters, inflict damage equal to 2 plus the effect, escape and move away, ending the grapple, drag the opponent up to 3 meters, or continue the grapple with no other effect. So any one of those you can add on in addition to grabbing hold of her.
Okay, having grappled her, I kick her in the back and hurl her towards them. So it's like that's one of those options they had. So she basically flies towards them, disrupting them.
Yep. Give us a 1d6 roll, please. Let's see how badly hurt she is and they are. And I think you can add your strength bonus to this.
Okay, that's a 0 for me, so it's 1d6.
Okay. Whoa! All right, so you solid kidney kick, and then you toss her over. Both she and the one of the thugs are hit by them and takes 5 as well. That's a lot, and that's probably going to cause at least 2 of them to consider. I'm going to have to make a... Let's see if the other 2 are willing to carry on with this fight or not. Let's see. Skill I'm going to use here.
I will try and intimidate them if I can and say, do you really want to do this?
Yeah. Let's see here. So I think it'll be their strength or their social, both which are at 0. So let's see here. They both look and do that kind of like turn and race down the corridor, leaving the 2 of them in a heap trying to get up. So on their turn, Whitney and the other thug are going to stagger to their feet and draw their weapons. Let's see if they are ready to run off. So the thug is running off. This is my equivalent of a nat 20 with my TAS dice. So there we go.
Wow. That's a beautiful stay.
Yeah, so she pulls her knife out, and she's going to be running towards you next round. Dane, what are you doing?
I'm just going to have to fight her. I'm going to have to stand my ground and try and disarm her.
Okay. So it'll be a grapple check, once again, contested.
Okay. Is it melee again?
Melee again, yeah, melee unarmed. She only got a 6 this time.
8.
8? So you're successful. What do you want to do? Do you want to disarm her?
Disarm her.
Okay. So you get in and you wrench her arm to the side, and then and she drops it down. Then on her turn, she is grappled, so she's going to try and escape the grapple. Give us an unarmed melee check.
Sure.
Nat 20 again. You have to beat my 13.
Wow. She's going to break, I think. Yeah, she breaks.
So she stomps on your ankle. You kind of she definitely knows how to use pressure points against it. She breaks herself free. Your turn. What are you doing?
Okay. I'm going to go for an unarmed strike and try and knock her out.
Okay. So that will be. And she is. It's a full action to dodge, I think, right? Not minor? Yeah, full action. So she's not dodging. She's just...
Okay. I get an 8, so that's I think that might be
8 is good
success.
enough. Yep. So then, and... let's see here. Damage... I can't remember what unarmed damage is. I remember offhand. Is it like... Sure. Other games are listed in the melee column? It does, unarmed. 1d6. Go ahead.
It is 1d6.
Yeah.
Let's make a roll. Another 2 to do.
See, hit her. Okay, so she's up to 7 so far. She is going to return. What's she going to do? Is she going to grab her knife? She's going to punch you back. Okay. So, let's see here. That is just enough to connect. You take 2 points of damage.
Okay.
So that would be to your endurance, I believe.
Yeah.
Right, because it goes endurance, then to the other one of the other two, strength or deck.
Yeah, got that. Yeah.
Okay, so you're up next. What are you doing?
I'm trying to finish her off if I can.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Oh!
13.
5. Okay, so then the... Let's see here. I don't think effect is added to damage. Let me double check here, though.
I think it might. Oh, I don't know.
Yes, effect is added to the damage total. Awesome. I love that. 1d6 plus 5.
Whoa.
That's 11 damage.
She is knocked solid cold. And with that, unsurprisingly, as the leader, if you look through her gear, you'll find not only a knife on her, but you will find Alonzo's comm unit. So, his comm
you
unit...
must be glad I was going to get my cutlass, so you'd have been in trouble otherwise.
So I think we can safely cut now to Alonzo, whatever you're doing, maybe pacing back and forth with only the light of the computer that you activated. Door opens up. Dane is standing there, and you start walking towards him, and then he just holds out your comm unit and whatever else was taken from you.
Oh,
I think you may have missed this.
Yeah, thank you, Dane. I did warn them about you.
All right.
They chose to still rob me.
So, what do you guys do next? Do you message the captain now that you've recovered him?
Yeah. That's all done.
I guess we can go meet with our guy now. I'll get up off the ground and wipe the dust off my butt.
Yeah.
What's the message you sent to Captain Gani? Do you call him or do you just send a message?
I'll give the device to Alonzo and say just let Gani know you're all right.
Will do. And that's exactly what I'll do.
Call or message?
Maybe call him.
Okay. So Captain Gani, you're on the ship and sort of waiting for word, standing near the weapons locker or the ship's locker, and you can see that there's a message now coming in from Alonzo's comm, which you were told was stolen. So I imagine the first thought is maybe blackmail or some kind of ransom. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
How do you answer the phone or the comm call?
So who's this then?
Hey, Captain.
You managed to sort things out then?
Yeah. Dane sorted it all out. I did warn them.
No murder charges, I hope?
No murder charges. just their pride, I think.
You can't have much pride being a mugger on a planet like this.
No, I'm sure they're desperate with what's going on.
More desperate now. Good. All right, well, get yourself back.
Okay.
Did you lose anything?
No.
There would, I think,
yeah.
the credits would have been transferred though.
Oh, like they would have moved them somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah. Maxed out whatever could be withdrawn on your sort of limit. I imagine it's something like a kind of like a credit line, or but limited to the what's accessible through the device.
Right.
Yeah. Dane, did you keep that knife or did you do something with it?
Yeah, I took the knife.
Okay. So you will have a keepsake from your time here then.
Yeah. I could do with it by the look of it.
Okay. So, the end of day comes and Captain Gani, I imagine, meets you. If you go, oh, you guys are back. Hold on. You went back to the ship, but you do have quarters at the TAS hostel. Were you planning on staying on the ship or meeting up on the ship, or are you planning on meeting up in the hostel?
Yeah, where do you want to meet, Captain?
Let's meet at the hostel.
Okay.
We're on our way.
So, meeting back up there, anything else you guys wish to discuss before you turn in for the evening? The ship is fully repaired now. Alonso's interesting evening has come to an end.
Yep.
And you guys have heard some gossip from the, at least a trader and a small collection of Navy officers. Anything else you wish to do? What's the welcome that Captain Gunny gives Alonso and Dane as they return?
You lot just get yourselves in trouble every time. Every time.
Well, isn't that what shore leave is for, Captain?
And you didn't even have a drink, barely.
Nah.
Anything else you guys wish to do?
No.
Next time, take Dane with you.
Yeah. Good plan.
Okay.
I might just strap myself up a bit and just apply something just to...
Oh, yeah,
to the
hold on.
wound.
I was actually looking at that, the healing. I don't remember how fast you... Because you only took 2 points of damage, didn't you?
That's right, yeah. It's page 82.
Oh, thank you very much. Go. There we go. Anyone have medic?
Yep.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I do.
No useful skills.
What's your endurance dice modifier?
Well, right now, with the damage, it's -1.
Oh! Okay, so it'll be 1, because you'll heal 1d6 after the night's rest, so I guess 1d6 -1.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can give yourself a medicine check plus education.
Okay.
You heal a minimum of 1 point. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
That's not the first, sock in the jaw that you've had to walk off. All right. Yeah, and then they're divided. Your effect is what you get. So it'd be an 8. That's 3 points, and you would be able to divide that amongst any of your injured stats. So yeah, a quick, little ice pack. You'll be right as rain.
Great.
So, it is late in the evening when you get the message, Captain Gani, that you'll be meeting tomorrow morning with Mr. Stusser.
Excellent.
Okay.
Well, one last nightcap then, lads, and then off to bed.
Are you for
Got
remember,
it, Captain.
Lonzo? You got
More
your
rum.
cigars sitting in your room too.
Yeah, I'm probably going to pull a nice one out to sort of, soothe his pride a little.
And I think the Captain Ryan, likewise, will pass by. He's on his way to bed, but he will pass by and give kind of a, you know, a nod to Dane on his way in. He'd be staying at the TAS shelter hostel as well. And yeah, then that is. Oh, go ahead, Dane.
I'm just saying they'll take anyone.
Yeah, truly. Well and truly. All right. So then in the morning, what, if anything, do you guys intend on doing with your day? The meeting, I think, is probably, you know, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh.
Anything you wish to do earlier on? Or you're just getting up, nursing hangovers, such as they are, and then heading on with your day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Eager to get to this meeting, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So let me just get the handout together here.
Quick breakfast kind of thing, and then go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll put on a tie. Kidding.
Nice. The clip-on military tie.
That's a weapon, isn't it, Dane?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Are you keeping that knife?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just basically a dagger stats.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm fine with it looking however you'd picture it looking as well.
Yeah. It's a sort of semi-combat knife, but it'll be discreetly put away.
Okay. And let's see. Sorry, I had him.
Okay.
There he is. So Strusen, let me grab my... There it is. Strusen, his office is in the corporate... What's the cargo offices? In the industrial sector. So you'll have to take a monorail through the kind of the underground and then make your way around. There are still... Almost everyone you're passing by here has the PRQ logo in one way. They just seem to be a lot better dressed in this part of the neighborhood than what you met before. You brought up to a separate... Let me bring you over to this again. And I brought up to a third level. There's no view or anything, but the third level of a structure that's been built into the ice and rock here. You wait at what looks to be a prefab corporate office that you've sat outside of 100 times before. Very similar. A receptionist who is able to be friendly in the most dismissive and condescending way possible. Clee doesn't think much of you lot, and then finally says that Mr. Strusen will see you all. And you're led into a very drab, kind of cramped corridor that then leads into a small, a small boardroom. And waiting in there is... Let's see here, where is he? So they automatically... I don't know if it's because I got set up this way in the thing, but it automatically puts the handouts that I create in the handouts folder and in alphabetical order, so I routinely lose track of where they are. This is the gentleman waiting for you in there.
Ain't he purty?
So he looks up at you. He's dressed quite well. He's got the casual corporate down pat. He does not. His jacket is clearly quite expensive. The relaxed sweater he has under it, likewise. But he definitely has the look of someone who has had a rougher turn. There's no necktie or anything like that, and he's got the carefully manicured, stubble to give the look of someone rugged who maybe isn't quite as rugged as he would present. But it's the guy you've known before. Captain Ganny, you've seen this guy. And for someone who makes their way up in the rough and tumble corporate world in the Reach, this is not an unexpected. Some people, especially lower level folks or independent operators, they're going to have a eventful life behind them. So he walks in. I can't remember, what is Captain Ganny's... Is Ganny your first name?
Yeah, Ganny's my first name.
Oh, right, okay. So it opens up and he looks over. Ganny, good to see you.
Long time no see, Joachim.
And you. Your crew?
So what have you got for me? My crew? Crew's good. Had a bit of excitement coming in system, but had a little bit of help from the Navy.
I heard. Piracy. It's a problem here. Nothing you couldn't handle, though, yes?
With a bit of Navy help, I'm going to have to get some more equipment for my ship. You need to be able to look after yourself, as you say, in here.
That's no surprise. The Navy will be leaving soon, too, so we'll be dealing with that.
You've heard that, too?
Yeah.
Your connections are as good as ever.
Well, I can't if you need to make a living out here. And he walks over to you, Alonso, extends his hands. Joaquin.
Alonso, pleasure to meet you.
Shakes your hand, turns to you, Dane. Joaquin. Shakes your hand. Business, eh? Just like your captain. Have a seat. Help yourself to drinks. So, Ganny, you got my message?
Your message. So, at your service as ever, what do you have in mind?
It should be something very easy, but as you've shown today, avoiding trouble, a skill you exceed at. It will be something that will be necessary for this. It is a simple cargo delivery. Cargo must be picked up from... Make sure I get the name right here. Gibraltar Station. And Ganny, you would know that that's in the Inurin system. Mm-hmm. Cargo picked up from Inurin, from Gibraltar Station, and delivered within 16 weeks. You will be paid for the full 16 weeks. If you take longer, price goes down. The cargo is very small. You can feel fit to pick up anything else you can arrange. You can deliver anything else you arrange. You can go whichever way you wish to go. I would suggest, once you get cargo though, no passengers. Or, if you do, keep your cargo secret. I don't know the nature of it, but it's some kind of thing. It's items important to a clan lord. Aslan stuff. Once you pick up the cargo from Gibraltar, you must deliver to the palace of the clan Iowoi at Tyok. From what I hear, Aslan politics, there are those who would prefer for this cargo not to arrive. So, hence we order something like you. And to avoid suspicion, an indirect route might be prudent. But
Tyok, inside the Aslan hierarchy.
It's a clan who wants this. The cargo is destined for Clan IO boy. And I'll give you the spelling. So, simple job, yes? Pick up cargo, take scenic route, get it done. In 4 months, you get paid for 4 months. You arrive sooner, you get paid for 4 months.
What is
Entering the Hierate is never straightforward.
No, but that's why you be careful. Things.
So, what's the fee?
Fee? Your choice. 500 credits per ton of the ship per week, or 900 credits per ton of cargo space, whichever is higher. So 8,000 per ton, or 14,400 per ton of cargo space for the full 16 weeks. You paid 25% now, 25% upon collection of cargo at Gibraltar Station, and the rest upon delivery. Anything you make on the side is yours to keep. Simple, no?
Simple indeed.
So I'll leave it. Let's hear. That would be... I did not do the thing. You guys are 200 tons for your vessel, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So 200 tons times 8,000.
I get what our cargo space is.
200 tons
Where
times
is it?
8,000 is 1,600,000 credits. Or the cargo space, you guys have, what, 3 tons taken up by your...
We've got, yeah. We've otherwise got 64 tons of cargo space.
So then 64
before,
tons...
when they're completely empty.
That'd be 921,600. So the better deal is probably the tonnage of the ship.
Yeah, the full tonnage of the ship. Yep.
So
That's a lot of
Okay.
money.
you're
That's a lot of money.
well. If you get it done early, then they pay early. But I hear where Aslan politics go, and those who would play them, you seeming to be meandering ship, maybe best bet.
Especially since there sounds like there's some trouble with the Aslan Hierate at the moment.
When is
Could
there
get
not in
exciting.
here? Terihate, always causing trouble. To say nothing of this glorious empire.
How big is the cargo?
Cargo, from what I know, small. Take up no space. If you sit one of your... Do not account for it, but from what I hear, passengers, once you hit Gibraltar Station, may be frowned upon. From what I hear, you have trouble with passengers already. Speaking of, I hear PRQ speaking of you. Once you finish this, maybe you come back to Argona. More work for you through PRQ, no?
Could be.
Maybe.
Good to have
Maybe.
some friends. Always good to have friends.
Indeed. He takes a drink. And then if you guys have not... I imagine Alonzo for sure has poured a drink for himself, but I don't know about Ganny or Dane.
Ganny's on coffee.
Okay.
I'm not taking a drink right now.
Okay. So,
Yeah. Okay.
you have any questions?
Nope.
Yeah.
We could, Dane, we could look at some cold berth passengers, but let's see, low berth.
Let's go away and do some sums, shall we? But yeah, okay.
Indeed.
You accept this then?
Yeah, you reckon? Let's do that. And I'll let my particularly violent accountant do the work for the math.
Then he says, I knew you would. And he goes over and grabs a tablet computer, completes, hits a couple buttons on things, and transfers over to your comm, Captain Ganny, the necessary information for securing the what do you call it? The cargo from Gibraltar. He also wants to know what kind of payment you want your first installment on. Will that be in credit plaques, electronic funds, cargo purchased through Struzan's account at the high port, or a mix of all three?
You think, Lane? Just credits?
I think so. Probably an electronic transfer.
They could be arranged then. Then, if there's nothing else, I'm sure you have business and things to attend to. 16 weeks to deliver. So he shakes your hand, Captain Ganny, shakes your hand, Alonso, shakes your hand, Dane, and says, gestures back to the boardroom, when you're done, let Alexis know.
Will do.
And he pats you on the shoulder again as he's leaving, Captain Ganny. Back soon after, no?
So do we need to come back to Argona at the end? Or how will it get sorted out once we dropped at Teok?
That's where your final payment, the final half, upon delivery to the clan,
will be at Teok. Okay.
He holds his hands up. You understand?
I understand.
Well, in your hands then. You will have the money in your accounts then within the hour. See you soon, Ganny. He leaves the boardroom, leaves you guys behind. Coffee, drinks, whatever. There's a fake screen that's up that's showing like a big, it may be Spurl or something similar to that. Lovely, relaxing waves. Very convincing. You guys are on your own.
Yeah, let's talk somewhere else.
Yes.
Okay. So you all leave his building, and you start, where are you heading? Back to the other area? Do you want to go back to the Planetfall, the bar, or to the hostel? What are you guys thinking?
Back to the ship, I think. So one place we know probably isn't bugged.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that. I might just collect my things from the hostel and.
Yeah, sounds like we might be leaving ASAP.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think. Oh well, it'll save on berthing costs, I suppose. How much was the? How much was that first payment?
So it would be a quarter. Let me tell you. Or the history. So the high. So that's. Oh no. So it's 1,600,000 divided by 400,000 credits is the advance for it. So you see your account as promised by the time, shortly after you guys get back and after you start doing the kind of like cycling of things to get warmed up, things are better. And if you wish as well, let me see. I think I can give you some information about Teok as well. Wrong book, Madison, wrong book. Here it is.
Okay, I put payment 1, the down payment, into our accounts. They look a lot rosier now.
Okay. Go.
No reason not to get started. The payment is the same no matter how long it takes us. So
Yeah, as long as we get within time. Hadn't reckoned I'd be working for the Aslan. Hadn't reckoned on that.
No.
Mm-hmm. So it's in the Larawaha subsector.
Whatever it is, it's worth a lot of money to them. Or a reasonable amount of money.
Okay, Tyok. Tyok is the counterpart of Emisa in Tobias subsector. Here is where the Imperial ships come in, having made the perilous crossing of the Borderlands. Tyok's starport was rated Class A, but is so overburdened by traffic that is dropped by TAS to Class B. The shipyards have been refitted into extra freighter berths. Unusually for Aslan colonies, the area around the starport is heavily urbanized, and the cityscape could be any world from Deneb to the core worlds. Those expecting an exotic alien city where when they land on their first Aslan world will be disappointed. Once a traveler gets away from the human-dominated starport district, the beauty of Tyok becomes evident. It is a hot, steamy jungle world, for the most part, where the organic curves of Aslan buildings rise lazily above the tree line. Tyok is dominated by the Arroya If clan, who control roughly 60% of the trade. The planet is also shared by half a dozen other clans, and hundreds of corporations. Have offices and outposts here. To the Hirate's shame, a criminal organization called the Ria Hrilkir, an Aslan mafia of outcasts, also run black markets on Tyok and are rumored to have ties to the pirate bands elsewhere in the Reach, especially in the Borderland subsector. The Riaha Hilkir also control the lucrative market in guides and interpreters to Aslan culture. Merchants who hire a guide on Tyok are warned that there is every chance the guide is spying on them. Tyok is a shipping hub for the Hirate, especially for ships coming in along the trade route from the Imperium. Thousands of ships crowd the skies above the port, merchants, escorts, tenders, scouts, system defense boats, and sometimes even brave pirates. Tyok is perhaps the most human world in the Hirate. It could almost be part of the Imperium if you close your eyes and ignore the distant roars of jungle beasts. The alleyways of Tyok are home to the Riaha Hrilkir, the criminal syndicate, a mysterious and influential band of criminal outcasts. The Riaha Hrilkir controls pirate bands, black markets, and other illicit activities across the subsector. That is the TAS entry for Tyok. That is your destination. The Ayukoi clan is obviously one of the lesser clans that makes up that planet. So,
sounds all right.
You still have, as well, for non-ship related stuff, you have not fueled up, I don't think. So you still have that, or you can go and make use of your scoop. Because that is, yeah, and you got your fuel processors as well. And how much, let's see, your fuel. How much fuel do you take here?
Yeah, it does have to has the gas churn, doesn't it?
How does this scoop work? Like, is it considered like it's legal to do that? Is it rude? Is it
some places? Well, you would know as well. Ooh, you know what?
It just takes time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it's a time thing.
You would know that there are some systems claim control over it as one of their resources, though. So the Borderland District most definitely does not. But when you're scooping is also a time when you're kind of vulnerable. So, you know, you want to be
right,
keeping your eyes out. And let's see here. I don't see where's the tonnage for fuel.
I guess we can make a decision on time versus money there.
Yeah, but see if it takes a day for you to process the...
Yeah, it's 41 tons of fuel.
41 tons, so it'll take you a day and change to process it then. Okay. So, what are you guys thinking? I guess let's maybe go to our subsector map here, and you guys can plan out where you want to go here. Yep. The thug is back. Look out! Look out! They're back for revenge. Revenga.
So, Inurin's a straight jump. Then I guess you want to go via Tech World. Because you don't want to go to Ergo. And then we've got the choice of Harl or Hilfer.
So let's talk about Tech World. We've talked about before. That's that extremely high-tech place with lots of robots and such. You know about Spurl because you've been there. Inurin is the main world of a complex trinary star system with bodies orbiting each of the system's 3 stars. The primary of the system is officially named Peterson's Trinary Alpha, but locals know it as Pamsk. Some star maps use the main star world designation system and instead call this the Inurin Primary. Whatever its designation, the primary is orbited by 4 gas giants and 9 terrestrial planets, including Inurin itself. The 2 companion stars also have their own planetary systems. Inurin is a habitable world with a standard atmosphere. Its population of some 40 million is divided into several large-ish nations and vast array of minor settlements, enclaves, city-states, outposts, camps, and a few nomadic groups. Tensions run high between many of these, often for the reasons of tradition lost in the mist of time. There is no officially designated main starport in Inurin. Any ship approaching will be bombarded with offers, inducements, and threats to try and get in to land at one of the or another group's settlements. A few settlements are aggressively isolationist, however, and will shoot at anyone trying to land unless they are a well-established friend. There is no Judico-built orbital starport in the Inurin system. Judico. We don't really care about Inurin. Jump 2 or higher traffic tends to bypass the system, whilst fuel is available from a variety of sources. Many vessels visiting the system have business elsewhere in Inurin, and many travelers forget the main world even exists. Notable among the ports of Inurin is Gibraltar Station, which orbits the gas giant Pamsk 5, essentially an independent city-state in space. The station has factories, hospitals, shops, and one of the better universities in the region. Its inhabitants are distinctly isolationist except when dealing with long-term allies and friends, and rumored to have seeded mines in the atmosphere of Pamsk 5 to make it unattractive as a fuel-skimming destination. That may or may not be true, but fighters from Gibraltar Station have been known to chase off or even fire on vessels attempting to skim fuel. Though Gibraltar Station wants no part of anyone's politics, its operators are receptive to money. The station conducts a fair amount of business with the passing ships and will refuel and resupply any vessel willing to pay higher than average, plus 20% fees. This has led to accusations of being a pirate haven, but while dubious ships do come and go, the operators are aware that piracy harms their primary source of income, interstellar trade, and are not inclined to support it. Thus, Gibraltar Station has a dubious reputation, but it is home to honest dealings. Those who have established themselves as friends to the station are welcome. Others are tolerated so long as they behave themselves. So that is where you will be going to pick up your cargo. I wanted to tell you about Ergo as well. Ergo is the main world of a system that also includes 9 other terrestrial planets, 2 gas giants, and a planetoid belt. Belts and moons of the gas giants see the usual small amount of belter and corporate mining activity, but this is unconnected with Ergo itself. Ergo is designated with a red zone travel code, off limits to everyone who does not have proper authorization. However, this has more meaning in the Imperium, where it can be properly enforced. Here in the Borderland, interdiction takes the form of a pair of armed tracking satellites which may fire upon vessels ignoring the red zone, but whose coverage is limited. As a result, few ships can visit Ergo if they have reasons to do, but few do so. 2 centuries ago, Ergo was a prosperous mid-tech world regaining a measure of space capability. Long beset by raiders from the remnants of the Sindalian Empire, Ergo's ruling Council of Barons finally established a measure of security using crude nuclear missiles. The total destruction of a few raiding vessels persuaded the rest of attackers to look elsewhere for an easier target. 300 years ago, the General Development Corporation offered to construct a high-quality starport over Ergo, which was seen as being of mutual benefit. GDCO, we always want to help. However, before construction was complete, the Council of Barons had disintegrated into factions, all of them sufficiently determined to gain sole access to the port and its revenue that they were willing to wreck their world doing it. The ensuing war was long and bitter, with nuclear weapons used as quickly as they could be constructed. The starport was destroyed early in the fighting, and GDCO pulled out to build its port at Tech World instead. GDCO, see ya! The factions of Ergo battled on for nearly a century, resulting in a nuclear winter and destruction of most major settlements. The collapse of Ergo's technological base finally brought the world to an end, by which time it was impossible to halt the downward spiral. Today, much of Ergo is a wasteland, with radioactive craters marking the sites of former cities. The lands in between are home to low-tech tribes, some reported to be cannibals. The only civilized, using the term loosely, area is around the ruins of the old starport. There is a largely ineffectual Council of Barons postured, which hatches plans to reconstruct the starport, hoping to reap the riches of interstellar commerce. There are said to be pirate bases on Ergo as well, and given the desperation of the Council, it is entirely possible that some sort of deal is in place. So that is Ergo. We heard about Tech World before. Spurl, you know about. Let's quickly to talk about Falcon. Falcon is the main world of a system with 5 gas giants and 5 other terrestrial worlds. It is often listed in navigation databases as a hollowed-out asteroid, an error which is understandable given the circumstances of the world and its people. Falcon is in fact a wet world, small and with a thin atmosphere. Whilst not a Terra Prime candidate, it was certainly inviting for colonists and chosen for a large-scale development operation during the Soleimani settlement of the region. This proved to be a fatal mistake, literally, for most of the population. Falcon's ecosphere contains a number of compounds which are subtly toxic to unadapted humans. The adaptation process itself requires lengthy exposure and often proves fatal. Those who adapt to the world's toxins become dependent on them. It is possible for someone from Falcon to be deprived of these substances for a few weeks without coming to harm, but sooner or later they will become sick and begin to deteriorate. The process can be slowed or deferred by creating an artificial environment where these substances are available, but this requires significant investment in technology and equipment. Once deterioration has begun, the only way to halt it is to go home to Falcon and stay for an extended period. Even this will not reverse the process. Even a short time outside of Falcon's unique environment can start a process that resists all attempts to halt it. Most inhabitants of the world choose not to leave. The population stays low because even among people acclimatized to local conditions by many years of exposure may have children who are not, and whose bodies cannot survive the toxic environment long enough to be adapted. To avoid this tragedy, the people of Falcon practice strict population control and provide what may be the most intensive system of prenatal medical support in the sector. Falcon Highport is a hollowed-out asteroid, crewed mainly by workers from other systems and with an enclave of Falcon locals who usually wear encounter suits to avoid contaminating visitors. Small doses of Falcon's unusual contaminants are unlikely to cause harm, but might affect off-world trade if anyone were to be made ill by a visit. Since off-worlders almost never visit Falcon itself, and its people rarely leave, the Highport is widely considered to effectively be Falcon. Indeed, some databases make no mention of the inviting but deadly planet that it orbits. The port is owned and operated by GDCO. GDCO, we're everywhere. Which also maintains a local operations administrative center. This, among other functions, control the operations of GDCO This, among other functions, controls the operations of Geodico assets on neighboring Spurl, which in turn owns the government. The misconception has arisen that Falcon maintains Spurl as a colony, whereas the situation is that Geodico more or less controls Spurl from a location usually thought of as being Falcon. Falcon's port sees a fair amount of in-cluster traffic with a considerable amount of commerce in its auction halls. A portion of the revenue thus earned goes to the government of Falcon, but the lion's share is taken by Geodico, which also provides local in-orbit defense and security on the station. Geodico personnel have no jurisdiction on planet and never go there. So, that is what else makes up the Borderland cluster, other than Exa, which I guess... Let me see if there's anything you need to know about Exa. There's almost no in-system traffic in Exa. There is a high port, and it's the entry point to the Void's Edge cluster for ships out of Acrid in the Wilderman cluster. So, other than that, Exa doesn't have much to stand out for. So, now knowing what the other planets are roughly going to be like, what do you guys think? And what is the... apologies for the info dump, but I figured we might as well just get that done so we all know what is roughly in each of these worlds and then make a plan. What do you guys think?
I would again guess Inurin, pick up our cargo, tech world. As being more sensible than Ergo. And then either Hilfer or PML. PML? Panel?
PAL, I think.
PAL.
Yeah. Yeah.
PAL's got the gas giant.
Yeah, it feels...
He did suggest a direct route might not be the best plan, though.
Mm-hmm. But then that might mean get to Hilfer or PAL. Go to PAL, then go to Porn, Kateria, the New Zealand planet, and then Teok.
Yeah, or we could take Tech World, PAL. It might depend what the world is. 2327. I know it's got a gas giant, so we could do Frontier refueling.
Yeah, I can tell, yeah. Let's see here.
And then from there to Tark. Yeah, so either of those do. I'm just thinking to sort of delay our entrance into the Aslan high rate for as long as possible. But
the advantage of coming in at then is that you arrive in Teok from within the Hierat.
True. I think the thing I've noted is we can't afford a weapon.
No.
So, medbay or guns? The Beirut asks. It's a reasonable question. How much is a medbay if we can't do guns?
Good question. Let's see.
So, yeah, maybe you're right, Garni. Yeah, maybe you're right. Something like Hilfer. There's a planet called Drinax here. We could go there, can we?
Yeah, we could do Drinax, and then Hilfer, Drinax, Katura.
Yeah. We could go and visit the Flying Palace and take some pictures. And then, as you say, Katarua, and then into Tayok.
And right in the middle of where the Imperial Navy's at.
The ship's going to need maintenance on the way in as well. We're going to need to stop over for a maintenance check.
Well, Drinax then.
Possibly. I think we've got a couple of weeks before we need to do that.
Or Tech World.
2 million credits is what a med bay costs. It consumes 4 tons.
Okay, so at some point in the distant future, we will get either a medbay or weapon.
Yeah.
Get a weapon, and then other people need a medbay.
Yeah. That's okay. That's cool. We can. We're just going to have to accept that we're going to have to take this run unarmed.
Okay, Birney. Birney was established by the Sindalians as a watch port and a naval depot. This is the last one that sort of is not part of the Void's Edge cluster. It's part of whatever the next is there. Yeah. At that time, the Empire was threatened by raiders and barbarians from the trailing stars, so Birney was a major strategic assignment. A strong tradition of military service was established, and the Knights of Birney were considered the most loyal and honorable soldiers. I'm telling them, honorable soldiers in the service of Noricum, which was the old capital of the Sindalian Empire. As the Sindalian Empire decayed, the warships at Birney were called home one by one, leaving only a small garrison without the capacity to maintain its technology or build new ships. Nonetheless, the Birney endured, keeping their system defense boats flying with increasingly elaborate patches and jury-rigged electronics. When the Imperium recontacted Birney in 329, which would have been about 1,000 years ago, their scout ships were 900 years ago. Their scout ship, no, 800 years ago. The scout ships were challenged to stand down in the name of the Emperor of Sindal. Birney's garrison had stayed loyal for more than 800 years. Once the Birney were appraised of the state of the rest of the sector and the fall of Noricum, they declared independence from an empire that no longer existed and set about finding a new place for themselves in the galaxy. Over a third of the Birney population today are Aslan, elements of the Kaya here clan settled there with permission of the Birney, and the Birney are considered honorable humans by the Aslan. The Hyrit's military culture of duty and honor appeals to the dutiful Birney, and having a human world as a trading post on their having a trading post on the I think there's a typo here. Having a trading post on the border of Imperium Hyrit convoy routes help the Kaya here undercut the Arohaef trade monopoly. In modern times, one of the chief Birney occupations has been pirate hunting. The world is one of those heavily invested in by Jedico. Jedico, fuck pirates. And the corporation has provided a small squadron of jump-capable pirate hunter vessels to the Birney. After 2,000 years of service, the Birney are once again defending civilization in the Trojan Reach. So does that make that a more attractive or a less attractive destination?
Probably more.
Okay. Pal is very little known. Pal's association with Drinax is an old one. This rich world once supplied Drinax with its produce. Many of the dukes and kings of Pal still covet the technology of Drinax. And then Hilfer. A hot desert world, Hilfer was once part of the kingdom of Drinax. The rebellion cost Hilfer dearly, as the planet lost the technology to maintain the water reclamation technology that kept the desert at bay. And Sink, the only settlement on Sink is a small monastery, established by an obscure religious sect from Earth. They spend much of their time sinking things in the deep, swampy lakes around their fortress. And this is a non sequitur, but Jeffrey, our gaming marathon, was set on Sink.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Would it be possible to have some of this information as an asset for us to
I don't think I can load the PDF, but this is everything I've got is from the Trojan Reach book,
right?
Which I believe you guys all have access to.
Okay, cool.
This is you can consider any of the information in the section about whatever the sector there. This is all information that the TAS would have.
Right. Okay. Awesome.
And then beyond that, you can extrapolate from the codes on it. Like Pal has a B. Let's see here. Both Pal and Helfer have B starports, as does Birney, and looks like Pal and Helfer are both tech level 6. Birney is tech level 6 as well, so they're not super advanced. Yeah. So, what are you guys thinking of doing for the passengers coming from Argona and any cargo from Argona to Gibraltar, if that's going to be your first destination?
Yeah, I think it probably is. We'll do are you thinking, Gani, we do a jump to from Argona into the Inurin system?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, look. So I guess we will put out put it onto the starport boards that there is a ship heading to Inurin, and we are taking passengers.
Okay. Are you wanting to try for mail once again?
Yes.
Okay.
So that probably freight.
Who has the highest social score? Was that the doctor or was that Gani?
Certainly not Gani.
I think it's Alonso.
Alonso has a
my
10
broker skill.
for social.
Just checking for Dr. Abdel's social is an 8.
Excuse me.
Anchor's
6.
Is a 5. So not Anchor. Does anyone have a modifier for social?
Yeah, +1.
+1 for Alonso, okay. And then what's the highest naval rank amongst you? Or scout?
Not particularly. Sub-lieutenant.
Dane, if you're force command, oh yeah, you're not technically naval, are you?
I'm not naval, I'm marine.
Okay. And then what is Anchor's rank? Let's see.
I don't think he was an officer, though, was he?
Yeah, I can't
I
remember.
think someone had something that helped us with this last time.
Yeah.
I don't remember who, but
I think I used my broker skill, didn't I, last time with
Yeah,
finding cargo?
Oh, yes, you do get a... Let's see here. You have to make a broker check. Let me check here. So what we'll do is, I think between now and next session, we can take care of some of the trade stuff on Discord.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just get in... Here we go. Yes, it's either broker or streetwise. Which would you like, Captain?
Oh, we're going very much for broker,
Okay.
due to a complete absence of streetwise.
I mean, Alonso could do. He learned a lot about the street in the last 24 hours. Ooh, that is a -1 then. So,
Great.
your net is going to be... what is...
Is this for mail?
This is for the mail, yeah. So give us a 2d6 plus 5 roll, please. You want to roll 12 or higher to be selected for mail.
Come on, let's do this.
Nice!
oh, nice.
Beautiful.
Oh.
Captain Gunny, so you will be able to fill it up with mail, the rest of your stuff. And then last thing we'll do is Dane and Alonso. Dane, give us a 3d6 roll, and Alonso a 4d6 roll, and then we will call it a session.
Oh.
Ooh.
5.
Okay, so fortunately, there is only 5 low berth passengers available, but there are 17 middle berth.
Oh,
So you guys will be able to, or standard. All right, so with that, I'll share more about this on the Discord afterwards. We can work out the particulars of this. But guys, that brings us to the end of session 6 of our Borderland Run campaign, and you guys now have the titular mission to be able to make your run. So for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for session 6 of the Borderland Run. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, or the game we're playing, please do not hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. There is also a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server in the description of this video. I will set up today a channel for Traveler. I've been putting that off, and I do not need to do that anymore. We've been playing this for 3 months now, so and I don't see any end in sight. So I will get that. Yeah, for your next, pirate stowaway, you'll be able to put them in low berth right away. So there will be a channel over there, but there is also a ton of other channels dedicated to all the other games we run on the channel, as well as just a great community that has built up. You are more than welcome to join us over there. There is also a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print, preeminent unionized retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs in North America. Not only do they have a great selection of new board games, card games, or role-playing games, they also have an unmatched selection of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs, and if they do not happen to have in stock what you're looking for, you can often put it on a want list, and then they will let you know when it comes in stock, and you can pick it up at your leisure. If you pick up $10 or more through their website, be sure to enter the code SPRINGMUSER, all one word, all caps, and you will save yourself 10% on your purchase. There's also a link down below to and I should say, if you're listening to this at a later date, after July 1st, 2023, come back to one of our more recent videos and find what the discount code has changed to, and then you'll be able to enter that and save yourself 10% in your purchase. There's also a link down below to something called Heroes Save Villages. That is the charity fundraising campaign we run on the channel. It benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity, a terrific organization active in over 130 countries, benefiting over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children, including ongoing relief efforts in Ukraine and the surrounding countries. You can learn all about the different prizes that we have to say thank you to all donors. All donations through that link go directly to them. None of it goes to the channel or any other middleman, just goes to help out the kids who benefit from SOS Children's Villages International's activities. And as a small thank you, we have a charity campaign that we're running all year where voting is still going on, and if you donate $10 or more since January 1st, you will find information about that on the Dungeon Musing Discord server's Charity Initiatives channel. You'll also find information about the charity raffle we'll be having at the end of June. If you've donated $25 or more since that time, since January 1st, 2023, you'll have one chance to win a grand prize for every $25 you donate, and you'll have an opportunity to vote on the next charity session, which is shaping up to be a pretty cool one set during the Boxer Rebellion. And we have two really interesting multi-genre games that are taking the lead right now, Savage Worlds and Genesis, both of which will be a shit ton of fun to run. So, the last thing I will say is a huge thank you to our stalwart travelers for today. So, Graham, Jeffrey, and James, thank you so much for playing today, guys. I will say for those listening at home who may be curious, I made use of... This is Supplement 3 for Mongoose Traveler First Edition, Supplement 13, Starport Encounters, Starports Supplement, and once again, my 101 or 1001 NPC source book for that. So if you're looking for where some of these ideas came from, that would have been them. The random encounter stuff came from this. So Jeffrey, you're near mugging. You have that supplement to thank for. Starports. Anyway, we will be back in the Borderlands sector in 2 weeks' time, but until then, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off of the troubles of our world and see the troubles and the cautionary lessons that our stalwart travelers have learned. Maybe ask some questions before a beautiful woman tells you to follow her down an alleyway. But until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.